ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the great carve-up. Miss 1970. Well, this is the apparatus we use, specially designed to do the job, to amaze and to amuse.
The Zigzag Lady is undoubtedly one of the greatest tricks of all time.
It was an amazing illusion because it could be seen completely surrounded and it could be seen in extreme close-up. So one of the great modern illusions, no question.
Well, this is Carol. She's 5'7". She's not a little girl. I'm going to ask her to get right inside. Oh, better take your shoes off, but that's all. And you see, she's not a little girl.
He had an extraordinarily brilliant magical brain, and his tricks have been copied and duplicated and done by every other magician since. But his first version really is the best.
Now, this is the one that hurts me far more than it hurts you. Tell me if it comes out of the back, will you? Through. Now, I want you to push, and I am going to pull. Right, a big heave, and there. Feel a hand, please.
What Robert Harbin does is he has a lady from the audience up, examining all this stuff. Is that a foot? Is that a stomach? Feel the stomach.
Now look, touch your tummy. Breathe in. Hold it. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good girl. Satisfied?
He's getting the whole thing verified all the way through. And her face, because she's so close to it, tells you that there aren't any mirrors. It tells you that something completely extraordinary has happened.
Well, now, Carol has a nasty gap in her economy, so let's put her right. She'll need 3 dressing rooms now.
There's absolutely no way that it physically can work. It's making me quite cross thinking about it, actually.
Thank you so much. There we are, Carol.
When I first saw Lance do the Dove Act, I was absolutely amazed. And he was such a great dove worker that it was almost like a character, like a automaton, performing wonderful, wonderful dove magic.
Amongst magicians, he's got it all. He's got the fingers, and he's got the timing, and he's got the looks.
He looks a bit like a sort of mutant cousin of Elvis Presley.
No, he doesn't. He's too thin. He looks more like Shakin' Stevens.
Yeah.
Sometimes the most difficult aspects of the bird act is not actually doing the act, it's making people care about it, you know, because the magician is trying to fool, and being fooled, being deceived is not a pleasant experience in everyday life. As a magician, we're asking people to enjoy being deceived, and that's really the hard part, is to connect with the audience and make them like it.
Lance Burton is just stuffed full of doves. I mean, it's incredible that he can do it, and he'll just bring a dove out somewhere, but it's because he is packed stuffed full of doves. He can't move. He's got doves up here, doves down there, doves everywhere.
That in itself is a piece of magic, that their heads are all folded under the... I don't know how they do it.
There was something very, very odd about him in actual fact, and probably quite kinky. So yeah, if I said I had to sleep with a magician, I have a horrible feeling it might be Lance Burton.
At number 3, 2 magicians who performed the fastest ever version of this Houdini classic.
Don't blink, it takes them just under 2 seconds.
the legs on that. That was all I could look at, her legs.
She's shaved within an inch of her life. There's she goes to a clinic somewhere, and they know her intimately because they plucked.
Charlotte's costumes are skimpy. There's a reason for this. She's got a great body. This is going to sound a little arrogant, but the thing that pleases me most about Metamorphosis is that it is an illusion that was done by all the great illusionists. And we did things that would have fooled Houdini, the man who invented it.
And she gets out of the box having changed her leotard. Well, how did they do that?
Well, God gave me this job, and I'm doing it as best I can. So.
Ready?
Levitation is just, it's frightening. I mean, that scares me. I go, oh, when I see it.
He's into that spiritual stuff, man. It's serious, man. I seen a movie on it, man.
And they react like they've seen the impossible, and that's what's slightly frightening about it.
Can you see my feet? Don't move. Why?
I was very impressed, very impressed. And the fact that he did it in the street, in a studio, anything could be set up in a studio. It's amazing. I mean, before we know, there's a bloke with a string. Up at the end, they just pick people who have got bad necks.
You want to see something that I find a little bit strange?
Sure. You don't find this strange? I mean, I do.
What I find strange is an ability. Stand close together in case I fall over. Watch.
You do feel he has communed with forces, like he literally had just sold his soul at the crossroads somewhere, and instantly had that power, instantly had that ability to persuade people that he was, you know, truly a miracle worker.
I guess he's very gifted. To me, like, spiritually very gifted, but, like, I think meditation-wise, he really, like, he can do it. I mean, that was unbelievable. I mean, there's, like, no strings attached.
He floated. That's all. Did you see him float? Did you get a float? Because he floated.
We are now rapidly approaching the breathtaking climax of tonight's performance. But first, a little more mental magic for you to try at home. Adam, think of a number between 1 and 10.
Okay.
Now add 1.
Right.
Now minus the number you were first thinking of.
Okay.
The number you have is the number 1.
Yes!
And as if that isn't amazing enough, we present to you the number 1 greatest magic trick of all time.
Wow. I'd never seen anything like it. It was tremendous.
Best magic trick I have ever seen.
Oh, it's fantastic.
This guy's the best.
He gets into this box and he's manacled, and you think it's going to be a death-defying escape. You think that what's going to happen is that he's going to get out before the saw hits him, because that is an absolutely standard magical plot.
I've actually seen that live, and it is impressive. The smoke, the lighting, and that is really whizzing around. And of course it's coming down, and there is that red area on the clock, which you know can only mean one thing. I tell you what was rather good was that when he put his left arm out to undo a lock, and I thought, oh, that blade is a bit close.
That for me was one of the best moments in magic, because when I saw that saw penetrate his body, I knew that they were going to part the body, and I knew at that point that what I was about to see was kind of a new landmark in the sawing in half illusion.
There he is, look at that, his body's in half, and then when the brilliance of bringing him round to see he face his own legs, it's just incredible. And then move the feet! Brilliant. And then he does.
I guess the reason why I think it's great, because he does the stuff that you would do if you really were a magician, you know. He says, all right, I'm in trouble now, but I just poof and I fix it, you know.
And all the trucks suddenly move closer together, and you see his body fuse together, and bingo. Brilliant.
Part of that illusion, which is so great, is that John Williams, E.T., Close Encounters music that's building, 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 and he punches the air with the flash, and the music finishes. It is, I am here, the trick is ended. Isn't it great? And yes, it is. It is. It's a superb piece of theatre.
Well, that's almost it from tonight's celebration of magic. But before we go, here's a trick that proves that magic needn't be about weird men wearing silly costumes performing spectacular stunts.
That's right. Sometimes magic can be as simple as 2 weird men and an egg.
Keep your flash powder dry, and don't forget to polish your magic wand.
And keep that cabinet clean.
Good night.
Night.
Here's a little trick
You're
I'm
gonna
going
do
to
a
do now.
trick?
Yeah, it's a trick involving an ordinary egg, one ordinary everyday household domestic egg.
So you pick
there
any
we
of
are.
these
Yeah,
eggs?
any egg. There we
Okay,
go.
that's
Pick that
right.
one. There we go. You see? Oh. Wow. There we are, you see?
Jeff, that
Thank you
was
very
rubbish.
much. Thank you. What do you
Thank
mean
you
it was
very much. It
rubbish?
was rubbish. Anyone could do that.
All right, well, you do it then.
Okay, so what do I do? I
Just pick an egg,
pick
any
any
egg.
egg,
Yeah, not that
okay.
one.
Yeah, and now what? Just put it in my
Yeah,
mouth?
just put it in your
Okay.
mouth, that's it. No, you can't make it. Look, you've made a terrible mess. Just eat it all. Just eat it. No, just eat it now. Eat it now.